Hello and welcome to Sarah and Paul Conversation. In today's episode, Sarah and Paul are going to talk about the 5 tenses that native English speakers actually use every day. Not 12, not 16, just 5. Don't worry. After this conversation, you'll know exactly which ones they are and how to use them naturally. Here we go.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Sarah and Paul Conversation. So happy you're here with us today.
Hello, everyone. And today I'm genuinely excited because we're going to talk about something that I think will change the way you think about English grammar forever.
That's quite a promise.
I know, but I mean it. Because today we're going to talk about tenses, and not in the way most grammar books do it. We're going to simplify.
Good, because I think tenses are one of the things that makes learners feel most overwhelmed. You open a grammar reference and you see 12 tenses, 16 tenses, sometimes more, and it feels like climbing a mountain with no view at the top.
And the irony is that this feeling is almost entirely unnecessary. Because here is the truth. And I say this as someone who has taught English for many years. Native speakers, people who grew up speaking English, who use it every single day at work, at home, with friends. They rely on a very small number of tenses in everyday conversation.
How small?
5.
5 tenses?
5 core tenses. That covers probably 95% of everything you will ever need to say in real life. Stories, plans, experiences, habits, predictions, promises, everything.
So all that time spent trying to memorize the future perfect continuous.
Almost wasted, or at least very much put off. You can come back to the rare and complicated tenses later, much later, when you already feel confident. For now, for actually speaking, for actually communicating, 5 is enough.
I think a lot of our listeners just breathed a sigh of relief. So let's begin. Tense number 1.
Tense number 1 is the simple present. And I want to spend a little time here because the simple present is often dismissed as the beginner's tense, something you learn on the first day and then move past. But actually, it's one of the most important and most used tenses in English.
Because it does so much.
It does so much. The simple present expresses habits, things you do regularly, your routines, your daily patterns. I walk to work every morning. She checks her email first thing. They go to the gym on Thursdays. But it also expresses facts, things that are permanently or generally true. Water boils at 100 degrees. The sun rises in the east. Cats sleep for an extraordinary number of hours per day.
Ha! That last one is very true.
And this is what I find most interesting about the simple present. It's the tense of identity. When you talk about who you are, what you do, what you value, what you love, that's all simple present. I live in Bristol, I work in finance, I love Italian food, I believe in being honest. My brother is an engineer. My mother doesn't speak English, but she tries. These sentences tell a story about a person. They're not about one specific moment. They're about who someone is.
And that makes the simple present the tense you'll use most when meeting new people, introducing yourself, and just generally talking about your life.
Exactly. And yet there is a very common mistake that learners make with the simple present. And it's worth mentioning because it's so consistent.
The third person S.
Yes, the third person singular ending. In English, for he, she, and it, you add S to the verb. She works, he travels, it costs. And this is unique to that one person. Every other person, I, you, we, they, takes the base verb with no ending. I work, you travel, we produce, they cost. But she works, He travels. It costs.
It seems like such a small thing, but it's the kind of detail that, when you miss it consistently, makes your English sound a little less natural, even if everything else is right.
So it's worth practicing. She works. He goes. It makes a difference. Simple present. The tense of habit, fact, and identity.
Tense number 2, present continuous.
Present continuous. And the contrast with the simple present is actually one of the most useful things to understand in English grammar, because these two tenses are always in dialogue with each other.
The simple present says what is generally true. The present continuous says what is actually happening right now in this specific moment in progress.
I drink coffee. That's my habit, my routine. I am drinking coffee. This is what I'm doing right now as we speak. And the structure is very clear. To be, am, is, are, plus the verb with ing. I am walking. She is reading. They are talking.
But I want to pause here and mention something that surprises a lot of people because it catches learners out. There is a group of verbs in English that you almost never use in the continuous form. Grammarians call them stative verbs or state verbs.
Verbs that describe states rather than actions.
Exactly. Think about know, understand, believe, want, need, love, hate, own, belong, seem, appear. These verbs describe a state of mind or being and not something you're actively doing. And in English, you don't say, I am knowing this, or she is wanting a coffee, or they are believing the story.
You say, I know this. She wants a coffee. They believe the story. Simple present, even when talking about right now.
This is one of those things that feels counterintuitive when you first encounter it.
It does, but once you hear it explained, it makes a kind of sense. Knowing isn't an activity you're doing right now. It's a state you're in. You either know something or you don't. It's not in progress.
That's a very clear way to put it. And now, here's something really useful. The present continuous also works for the future. Not all futures, but a specific kind, future plans that are already arranged, already confirmed, already in the diary. We're having dinner with friends tomorrow evening. I'm flying to Lisbon next week. She's starting her new job on Monday. The kids are coming home for Christmas.
All of these are future events, not things happening right now. And yet present continuous feels completely natural because the plans are already fixed.
So present continuous is doing two jobs at once, right now and the near-arranged future.
Two jobs, and it does both of them very naturally.
Tense number 3, the simple past.
The tense of story. If there is one tense that really belongs to the art of conversation, it's the simple past. Because almost everything interesting that happens in a conversation, everything you share with someone, everything you tell them, it's already happened. It's already in the past. I called her, but she didn't answer. We got lost and ended up in completely the wrong part of the city. She looked at me and said something I never expected. He apologized, but it was already too late. Every one of those is simple past, completed actions, finished events, things that exist now only in memory.
And structurally, for regular verbs, it's very predictable. You add ed, I walked. She smiled. He arrived. They decided.
Clean and reliable. But English has irregular verbs.
It does. And for many learners, irregular verbs are a source of real anxiety because there is no single rule. Go becomes went, come became came, know became knew, think became thought, see became saw, take became took, speak became spoke, eat became ate, buy became bought, wake became woke. Every one of those is different. You just have to learn them.
That sounds daunting.
It sounds daunting, but here's what I always say. You don't need all of them at once. There are perhaps 200 irregular verbs in English in total, but the 20 or 30 most common ones go, come, see, say, get, make, take, know, think, give, buy, leave, eat, feel, hear, bring, keep, find, tell. If you know those, you can tell almost any story you'll ever want to tell.
Because those are the verbs that appear over and over again in real life. We went there, and it was beautiful. She said something funny. He got really nervous. I found it by accident. They gave us the most incredible meal.
And the rest can come gradually, organically, as you read and listen and speak more.
Exactly. Language isn't a sprint, it's a walk, and the simple past will be with you every step of the way.
Tense number 4. And you did mention that this one has a reputation.
The present perfect. Yes, it does have a reputation for being difficult, and I think the reputation is partly deserved, but only because most textbooks explain it in a way that makes it sound more complicated than it actually is.
So what is the simplest way to understand the present perfect?
The simplest way is this. The present perfect connects the past to the present. It's a bridge. When something happened in the past and is still relevant now, still connected to your present experience, your present situation, your present conversation, that's when you use the present perfect. Structure, have or has, plus the past participle. I have visited Tokyo. She has worked there for 3 years. We have never tried that restaurant. They have just announced the results.
And the most important signal, the thing that really defines when you use present perfect versus simple past, is time. If you specify a time, yesterday, last Tuesday in 2018 when I was a child, you use simple past. I visited Tokyo in 2019. She worked there from 2015 to 2018. But when you don't specify a time, or when you don't want to because the time isn't the point, the experience is the point, you use present perfect. Have you ever visited Tokyo? Yes, I have been there. We've eaten there before.
So the question you ask yourself is, am I talking about when something happened, or am I talking about whether something happened?
That is a beautiful distinction. When versus whether.
Simple past for when. Present perfect for whether. And once you feel that difference, a whole section of English grammar suddenly clicks into place.
There's also a cluster of very common words, what linguists call adverbs of time, that almost always appear with a present perfect, ever and never, already, yet, just, since, for. Have you ever eaten fugu? I've never tried it. She has already left. Have you finished yet? He has just arrived. We have lived here since 2010. I've been waiting for an hour.
These words are signals. When you see or hear them, the present perfect is almost certainly nearby.
And one final use of the present perfect that I want to highlight because it's so visible in real life, news and recent announcements. When something has just happened and is still relevant, still changing the situation, English uses the present perfect. The Prime Minister has resigned. Scientists have discovered a new species. The company has released its latest report. The train has been delayed. This is why newspapers and news broadcasts are full of the present perfect. It makes the story feel fresh. It says, this just happened and it still matters.
The bridge is still open.
Exactly, the bridge is still open.
And tense number 5, the last one.
Simple future with will.
And will is the tense of the moment. If the present continuous future is about plans already made, things already in the diary, will is about decisions made right now, on the spot, spontaneous, immediate, alive. It will rain later. A prediction, based on what you observe or know. I'll call you this evening. A promise made in this conversation. I'll have the soup, please. A choice made at the table right now. Don't worry, I'll help you. An offer, genuine and immediate.
And the key quality of will is that spontaneity. You weren't already planning to call. You weren't already planning to help. These are decisions that are happening right now in response to what is happening around you.
This is different from, I'm calling her this afternoon, which I already arranged. Or I'm helping them move this weekend, which was already planned.
Yes, will is live. It's present in a way that the present continuous future isn't. And that makes it the tense of kindness in a way, because when you say, I'll help you, or I'll be there, or I'll sort it out, you're making a promise in real time.
Beautifully put. And using will for everything won't make you incomprehensible. Native speakers will understand you, but the more you develop a feel for these distinctions, the more natural and precise your English becomes. And precision in language isn't about showing off. It's about being genuinely understood.
So, 5 tenses. Shall we bring them all together?
Let's do it with a story. Imagine you meet someone at a party and they ask about your English learning journey. Here's how you might answer, using all 5 tenses.
I study English every day. Simple present. Your habit. Your identity.
Right now, I'm actually focusing on my listening skills. Present continuous, what you're working on at this moment.
I started learning 3 years ago. A simple past. A specific point in your past. A completed decision.
Since then, I've made a lot of progress, and I've had some wonderful conversations with native speakers. Present perfect. Experiences up to now, connected to today.
And one day, I'll speak English as naturally as I speak my own language. Simple future with will. A hope, a belief, a promise to yourself.
5 tenses, one coherent, beautiful answer about a real life.
And notice, none of those sentences required the future perfect continuous. None of them required the past perfect passive. None of the rare and complicated forms. Just 5 solid, well-understood tenses used confidently.
That's the goal. Not to impress people with grammatical complexity, to communicate clearly, naturally, and with confidence.
And I want to say something to everyone listening who has ever felt defeated by English grammar, who has ever put a textbook down because it felt too much. You are not behind. You are not bad at this. You just need the right focus. 5 tenses, deep understanding, real practice. That is the path.
We'd love to hear from you. Can you write a comment using all 5 tenses? Tell us something about your day, your week, your English journey, using simple present, present continuous, simple past, present perfect, and will. It doesn't have to be perfect. The point is to try and to notice.
And if this episode helped you today, if it made something click, please share it with someone who's also learning English. That kind of generosity is how our community grows, and we're so grateful for every person who passes these conversations on.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
Remember, you are not bad at English, you are just getting better every single day. 1 tense at a time.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.